They're up right now. Let me see. Yes. On deck, let's order it. Come on down. Or stay right there, you're right in a good position. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Give it up for Funnel It!
It's great to be here, but before we start, I want to just check one thing. Everybody in the audience, just raise your hands. Have you heard of Funnel It? Ever heard the name Funnel It? That is awesome, that is awesome. Let me just explain you something else about it. Do you recognize the feeling? You're with a group of friends, you want to go do something amazing, you want to go do something fun, not the same thing you did the last time, you want to do something original, but you have no idea. Do you recognize that feeling? Yeah. How are you gonna take care of that? Well, we took that and we recognized that as well, and we used that to create an amazing product. We thought, like, okay, what are the actually essential elements to create an epic weekend or an epic adventure? It's got to be fun. It should be surprising, and it should absolutely be challenging. Now, we took those elements and we created them. We created an amazing product for that. Well, to short the story, how we got to it. At first, the pitch was about making a decision-making tool. That's how we started. With Friday night, it was hell. Because what we were actually doing is we're trying to make a decision on making a decision-making tool. It's awful. It was, I mean, we didn't even sleep that night. So we were the next morning, it's like a meta level, it's really complicated. The next morning we were like, okay, what's going on? Decision-making is hard. We all recognize that, okay? So what we wanted to do, decision-making should be fun. And that's when the energy started flowing. Okay, so that was the element. But it shouldn't just be fun. We wanted to be sure that what we created would be a solution for something that everyone can relate to. And that's what we started doing. So what we did a survey among peers with our idea. And what we actually got, we got 100% recognition. 100% recognition of people that relate to the issue. And they told us, like, okay, if we can actually create a free tool that can help us make decisions, group decisions among friends, easier, there would be a 85% user potential. All right, well, I think I switched a bit too fast. But again, let's take a short demo, because I introduced him now. He lives in New York, he's 30 years old, and he wants to create a great event. So what he does, takes his phone, and he starts a funnel. What he does, the first thing, of course, after creating a date, is the first feature of the app is that the organizer has to be selected. Now it can be in a specific way, it can be voted on by the participants, or it can be random. Either way, there's a feature in the app that assists you with it. Then, of course, an extra element, and that's the key feature in the app, is that each participant that is invited is supposed to select 2 elements from a selected amount of key features. They send them to the organizer, which in turn has the mission to create an epic event that contains all those elements. So whatever happens, everything you do will be a unique event. Alright, so after this, can I get some of you after the event, of course, there will be possibilities to create videos, pictures, that sort of thing in the app as well. And there's an actual challenging element because you can rate the actual organizer. Was it actually the most fun event that there was? So there's an extra challenge in there. Now for the business model, of course, we thought about that. A very important element is that it's a lean startup. So we want to build, we want to measure, we want to learn. And we do that in a loop. We want to do it continuously. There's no cost in the development because we already created a way of how to start up the MVP without any costs. And we absolutely believe in the viral effect of friends doing epic shit. So we're going to start in New York. We have a network there of friends and they're willing to start the demo with us. 18 to 35 years old, male and female, they're all friends in the New York area because in the US there's a huge early adapter community as well, so that's the best place to get a viral thing going. There's an international rollout strategy represented in Turkey, Russia, Bulgaria, and obviously in Holland. We're obviously going to build the app, and then we're going to have an epic time. Here we go. All right, one extra feature, really important to mention, because you're thinking, okay, this is cool, it's a free tool, but how is it actually going to raise money? If it's really going to start the viral thing that we're expecting it that it's going to be, in time we're going to be able to connect the great event locations or Groupon, TripAdvisor, or any event-related companies to this app. And then we can upgrade it and create like a great environment for that. All right, so anyway, what are we going to do now? Oh my God, what are you going to do next weekend? tell me, what do you have any idea?
I guess we're going to follow it. You're out of time.
Oh, we're out of time.
Too bad, too bad. Very good, very good. Nick, tell us about your most epic fun experience with your friends and how did you organize that?
Okay, I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to jump into a question. Actually, I wanted to ask you if it's a bit, to say a bit more about how you're making money, because I'm not really sure I got it, actually.
Yeah, it's, we have a way of creating the actual app, so the MVP, without any costs, and then start a small demo in New York. And we're convinced of the power of our international network to start the demo going, so there's no cost in the development. And as soon as we get a bigger community that can actually relate to this, well, to the actual app, then we can start upgrading and start a collaboration with event companies.
So it's going to be a free app?
Yeah, the app will be absolutely free. So our idea that our focus group actually is not ready to pay any money for that, but they're absolutely ready for fun. So we actually aim at making it very viral and into growing our user base, and we strongly believe that as soon as we have a huge user base, we will be a very interesting partner for big companies, and as soon as we reach the level when for them it's more interesting to acquire us rather than to compete with us and to copy us, at that time we can generate a huge or even a relatively big exit. And our prospective partners, in best case scenario Facebook, in some case scenario Swarm.
Okay, so a little bit more about the product. So I saw you that friends are putting in what they want to do in the weekend, but I still didn't get it. How do you come to a decision? Because it looks like you want to do something with a fork and a necklace and something, but how does it work? How do you get to an event?
Actually, our primary target here was to boost creativity, and the idea is that most of our peer reviews we got, that most of the people do the same thing over and over again, and they're kind of tired and bored of it. So we are trying to just throw in some interesting random words to just kind of boost the creativity, and then to motivate people to come up with new opportunities to build new events. And after that, so that they are interested, we are building some gamification concepts on it, and we are building a feedback loop so that they are motivated to come up with cool events that their friends like, so that they vote up for it.
Yeah, so when it comes to startups, there's always this big assumption where, hey, if we have a ton of people using it, it'll be great, right? But you always have to think about how you're going to get there. So I'm curious, with almost anything, like first impressions are absolutely crucial, right? So how are you going to ensure that the people that go to one of these events for the very first time, how do you make sure that they're paired to the right event? And how do you make sure that these people actually enjoy the event? If that makes sense.
Because it's rated. The actual organizer of the event gets a rating in the end, and we can get a lot of stats from that at a certain point in time.
And also, one important idea about that is that when we search for our competitors have a huge database of events, and it's very difficult to come up with this database and to maintain it, to update it constantly. So for us, we encourage people to be creative, and we don't have a database of events. Instead, we challenge our users to come up with original and interesting events or interesting places that we go to. And in our use case, for example, if a group of friends go to the same bar over and over again, and they don't have this motivation boost to just change things and to just go for some epic fun, and here we give them this motivation.
I'd like to add one extra thing. It could also be like, okay, the actual event is that the group goes bowling, but they're actually wearing a tutu and a rubber chicken on their head. So it's like, it's always original, there's always something new going on, there's always a fun element.
So your customers, who are your customers? I understand, because your customers are thinking about themselves to put creativity to going out to do some new things, or is this information for event producers to make a new event out of it? I don't understand really.
Actually, are we talking about users or our end customers? So our end customers will survive with this application, and after that we are aiming for a big exit. So we don't have customers, we don't have advertisement, we don't have any customers as such, but instead we have users, and we are thinking of them not like as about individual people, right? But we are thinking about them as groups of friends who are tired of boring stuff, who are young enough to try some crazy stuff. And these are our end users, and we are not generating events, but we are letting them come up and boost their creativity in creating some new things.
So you are aiming at pioneers, maybe the early adapters, and after that you make a mass product out of it to make it like an event.
Last comments?
We don't aim to start organizing events ourselves. That's I don't know. It's, the element of organizing is always within the group itself.
Well, can we try it already? Because it's the December month. There's a lot of parties going on. Boring, always the same. So can we use it already and do, because we have to do a party still in December, and we are going to do a party in March.
A very quick answer?
Very quick answer is that we are not building an event application. We are trying to build a huge community of people who share the same passion. Thank you.
And we have to leave it at that. Thank you. Give it up for Eindhoven.